Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Flavor and Fiction. I'm sorry if you can hear my dishwasher back there, but whatever. Gotta do what you gotta do. So, this week's book was The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot, I guess is how you say her name. And when the movie came out starring Oprah, that's pretty much how a lot of people found out about Henrietta Lacks. Before I get into the book, I'm going to tell you what we're going to be making today. Barbecue biscuit cups. Now let me tell you why. I was looking for foods that she liked. It said, oh, Henrietta was famous for her slow cooked greens. And I was like, ain't nobody got time for that. And then it said, also she was famous for her chitlins. Excuse me. No, that was a no. So when it said that she loved her grandmother's homemade biscuits, I was like, okay, I can work with biscuits. Henrietta Lacks is a black woman who was, this is the late 1940s. She's from Baltimore. She got very ill and went to Johns Hopkins. And it turned out that she had cervical cancer. And they gave her treatments without really letting her know what that would mean, that she would become sterile from the treatments. And they also took a sample of her cancer cells without her permission. So she went through a bunch of agonizing, torturous treatments and really suffered. She was misdiagnosed, but her cells became the first immortalized cell line that really helped come up with cures for polio and treatments for AIDS and really important discoveries, which is great for the world, but the effects that it had on Henrietta's family was devastating. Well, I'm supposed to chop some onion, and I'm mad because my cutting board is currently in the dishwasher, but that's okay because this lovely paper plate is going to do nicely. Because she has 4 children. Her oldest daughter is in a mental institution, and it was called something crazy like, oh, the hospital for the Negro insane or something that okay, nothing good happens here. Her daughter Deborah ends up being raped and molested. She had a nervous breakdown. Another son, he was completely abused since, he was only 1 year old when she died. Because he grew up to actually murder someone because he didn't know how to control his anger. All of the children had very tough lives after she passed. And the worst thing is they didn't know anything about her mother's cells for years and years. They didn't even know how she died because people didn't really talk about cancer in those days. So the author of the book, Rebecca, is a reporter. She contacted the family and pretty much everyone around them laughed and said, you don't want to do that because they've been down this road before. They just felt really screwed over. They even had someone posing as a lawyer saying, we're going to sue Johns Hopkins because it's their fault that your mother died. They misdiagnosed her and did all this. The family got attached to him. They did all this just to find out that he was a con man. So by the time Rebecca contacted them, they were like, we don't want nothing to do with you. So it took over a year for anyone to even agree to meet with her. Right, got the meat browning. Okay, so as I said before, Deborah had a nervous breakdown. Can y'all even hear me over this steaming meat? Okay, so while that's on the stove real quick, like I said before, so Deborah had a nervous breakdown and the project kept getting put off because she would have these panic attacks and she'd call Rebecca up and say, it's off. I know you're working for Johns Hopkins and you're trying to take advantage of my family, and she'd shut it all down. And if Deborah wasn't talking to her, nobody in the family was talking to her. She thinks that she may have had some mental illness. We know that all of the children had issues with hearing and some other issues, and that could be a result of Henrietta and her husband being first cousins. Anyway, so I have drained the grease off of this beef, and now comes the best part, the barbecue sauce. And of course I chose Sweet Baby Ray's. I forget how much it says to add, but I'm just gonna eyeball it until it looks good to me. I could drink this barbecue sauce. Rebecca Skloot, the author, after she gained their trust, she basically went on a fact-finding mission, and Deborah didn't trust her to do it alone, so she kind of became her partner. And they went around, they talked to doctors at hospitals. One thing that Deborah wanted to do that she promised herself she'd find the answer to was, what happened to Elsie? Who's Elsie, you ask? The sister, remember, who went to, just for good measure, institution for insane Negroes or something. Something crazy. They put her there when Henrietta got sick because she could barely move and no one could help her take care of her, and she had, you know, mental issues. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. But you know what? There we go. Just one little extra. And she found out that her sister had met kind of a horrible fate, and I'm gonna leave it at that just because I want y'all to read the book and see the movie. We're gonna spray some Pam. We're gonna open these biscuits and press them into the tins. And to me, this is the scariest part because I'm sorry, opening a can of biscuits still scares me like I'm like 10. My mom's gonna laugh at me. Whew, I'm a grown up. I did it. Okay, so I'm gonna press this down with a spoon. I got the meat here, and my sister is on her way. The main thing that Henrietta's family was so incensed about was that they, you know, because they were a poor black family and mainly with no formal education, they felt like everyone around them was just taking advantage. You know, the sad part is, what they said was that, you know, she made all this advancement in healthcare, or she was partially responsible for it, and her own family couldn't even afford healthcare. I mean, it's a sad story, but it's also very inspirational. Cheese. Okay, they're going in for 10 to 12 minutes. I am so excited to try these. My sister's on her way. Oh, doorbell, that's her. Gonna bring it over. Our barbecue biscuit cups. The cheese got a little dried out waiting on you, but what's your first impression?
Well, they're fancy.
And the book that I read was The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks.
Okay.
And she loved her grandmother's homemade biscuits.
Okay.
So this is, go ahead and take one out. I'll show you taking one. Get one for me too.
That one don't look like it's gonna come out so.
That one's a
It's
little
nice
special.
the way that they pop out though. That's a good texture of biscuit and everything. I already got my hands all over yours.
All right.
Okay. Smells good.
We're gonna try them together.
Do we bite into it or do we cut it?
It's kind of hot. I'm gonna use my fork.
True. Okay.
Ready? One. It's hot. 1, 2, 3.
Hot. Well, good though.
Yeah.
You know, because it looks like, usually this is barbecue chicken?
No.
Oh.
What?
I was gonna say,
barbecue. These are barbecue biscuits.
oh, because I was going to say, it looks like ground beef.
If your chicken looks like ground beef, throw it away.
Yeah, it looks like ground beef. You can really taste that barbecue.
I think this would be good with the wonton wrappers. The biscuit threw me off. But I still like it.
Yeah, it's good with the biscuit.
I should have got sour cream.
Dang, I just bought some.